did a good job. It's fantastic. I don't have to worry.
Well, the new lights that do go onto the road, I don't know exactly what lights you're talking about.
I'm talking about the lights that are on.
Oh, yeah,
They're going out here
Yeah.
rather than down here. I think we need to get like a work out to start doing.
I would imagine there's got to be an ordinance or something. Well, I mean, I kind of know what you're talking about.
And that's another reason I stopped right there. It's because there's a place that across from the golf course is flying. Because they put those lights on. And more of them put them up. What they're putting them on. And there needs to be. Not concentrated.
Well, they should be aimed where they don't hit the driver.
Because they're not doing that. They don't have enough parking. They got enough work. I said, I'm not call them. I'm gonna call up sheriff's department. I'm gonna call the safety department.
Good morning, everyone. We're going to start with public forum. Please turn your cell phone to the vibrate, silence, or off setting. The Gary Sansing Public Forum is intended for matters not included on the agenda for the upcoming Board of County Commissioners meeting. Citizens wishing to address items on the agenda should sign up to speak to such items at the regular board meeting. Speakers shall refrain from abusive or profane remarks, disruptive outbursts, protests, or other conduct which interferes with the orderly conduct of the Gary Sansing Public Forum. Each speaker is limited to 3 minutes unless otherwise determined by the chair to allow sufficient time for all speakers. At the chairperson's discretion, the Gary Sansing Public Forum will end 5 minutes prior to our scheduled start of the upcoming Board of County Commissioners meeting to allow the meeting to commence on time. We currently only have 5 speakers, so I'll give everyone 3 minutes. Keith Bowe, you're up first. Mary Konopka, Chief, you're second.
Can I have this distributed to
Absolutely. Will someone please help Mr. Bowe out?
each of the commissioners? Oh, thank you. Good morning. I appreciate you all, and especially Commissioner Strohberger and Commissioner Hoffberger. I appreciate seeing you at the last TPO at the extended meeting, or the planning meeting. And what I'm here this morning about is, for the last 2 years, I've been, as a citizen and a representative of the Warrington CRA, WCRA, whatever it is. Anyway, the problem that we've been addressing with Gulf Beach Highway being a highly congested area, it's where we have more congestion and more residential. Along Gulf Beach Highway is just really packed. We've got as much as what we've got there. And I don't need to explain to you what all the problems are, but we have an opportunity here where we're going to have a repaving project in the next year, and it's in the planning process now. Now, I was able to meet Jill Nobles from one of these meetings before I became a member of the CAC, and once again, I appreciate Commissioner Strohberger for allowing me to represent citizens on that committee. But in her 7-layer safety program, we see that SR 292 Gulf Beach Highway, stretching from Navy Boulevard to Sorrento Road, is a high injury network. And what I have given to you is an email that I had sent and exchanged with her, where I'm addressing the safety concerns of that stretch of road. And whereas we can't widen it, and I understand we have certain restrictions and costs and such, we are doing a repaving on there. And so, Commissioner Berry, with you being the chair of the TPO, I especially appreciate your input on this. But I'm thinking that this would be an opportunity where we can get, I've identified where we need to get 2 additional crosswalks and lighting for a third, a flashing light for a third, because there is just no way anybody handicapped or anybody non-handicapped can cross that stretch of road. And if you look over at Mills Avenue, we've now got we've got 2 convenience stores. One convenience store is the Faro 2, and we've got the General Dollar, or the dollar store. Yeah, they're popping up everywhere. But it's where we need to be able to have a crosswalk, and it's at Mills Avenue where we could have north and south access with a traffic light if we could get one of those installed. So if we can combine with the restriping, getting crosswalks put in, possibly a traffic signal.
Keith, wrap up your final comments.
Well, that's pretty much it. But I've given you the emails that I've exchanged with Jill Nobles, so you can kind of see what my plan is, and it goes into detail.
Thank you, Keith. Joy, can we have Don look at that area? Just, I know it's brought up at TPO. We'll take a look at that, Keith. We've put some, pilings out there. We'll take a look at it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mary Konopka, Chief, are you here? I don't see her. Okay. We'll move on to Charles Luther, and Ms. Rushing's next. Is Charles here? Charles Luther, you signed up? You're not here? Okay. Kathy Rushing, you're next. Oh, Kathy, he showed up in the back. Thank you. I'm sorry. You're next. You're on deck. Thank you, Mr. Luther.
Thank you. Apologize for being late. Yeah, good morning. I'm a citizen in Escambia County. Grateful to be here in this county. I'm a husband, a father. Just going to grab my notes here. Does UWF need reform? Indeed it does. They have a women's gender and sexuality studies program that has professors that, they openly identify as feminists. The irony with feminism is that it really has birthed so-called transgenderism. We've seen this with the Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling and the debacle that she got into as a very just outspoken feminist, of course, but then when it came to the transgenderism, she said, no, we can't have that. And the question is, why can't a feminist have a transgenderism? There's no reason why. In fact, the reason we have gender confusion is because we have gender role confusion. You got to think about that. I'm letting you think about that. People always mention gender confusion, but that's not it. Gender role confusion. Some of you have a hard time looking at the speaker. That's telling as to where you are. For a couple of years, it's been a year now since I've done this, but for a couple of years, ending a year ago, I would go to the UWF campus with friends once a week, in fact. And I'd stay there for about 3 hours, talking to students, engaging with students. And if you've been there, you've seen in the student commons, there's this big banner, huge banner, protect transgender people. Does UWF need reform? I heard in this meeting 2 weeks ago, people say, no, it doesn't need reform. Dear friend, if someone presents an application for a banner that says, protect KKK members, do we know what the answer is going to be? And rightly so, it would be no. That would be absurd to have that banner. Why do we have
Luther,
protect
please finish your thoughts.
transgender people?
Thank you
why.
thank you
It's
for your
liberal,
comments.
and it needs
Thank you,
reform.
Mr. Luther. Kathy Rushing, you're next.
Oh, Lordy. We got hurricane season coming up, and this is for all of you who have drains, because you've got a certain area in your drains that drain off the water to an area. And those drains get little debris. I was out there in the middle of Sally, 3 hours in, and I had 3 more hours, and I saw the water in my yard going up to my knee. I walked out there. I saw the water doing this, which meant it was not draining to the south. So I got me, instead of a hoe, I got the thing here, just walked over there and plucked it, and it drained. But we've got a lot of the little debris like this. And I don't expect the road department to clean it all at once, because we'll get more of it. But we do need to start cleaning up those areas in that part where the water drains across, so that hole, I was amazed that hole got plugged up. And I'm 78, or otherwise, I'd be out there cleaning the ditch. I wouldn't be talking to y'all. But stability now has to be cautioned. So I don't expect the roadway to go out there and get it all cleaned up at once, Commissioner, because we'll need to make sure by August to September that we have more clearing, but it does need to be started. And I wanted to bring this to your attention, because if it happens to me, it can happen. I mean, there was no problem in '04, but with Sally and all the rain and with all the debris there. So I just wanted to bring that to y'all's attention of where there could be a possibility of problems.
Thank you, Ms. Rushing. And Jamie, if we could, I'll get with you. We'll help her out on that. Eric Sharplin, you're next. And then Mr. McDaniels is on deck. I don't see Stan, but I guess he may be in here.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Chairman. I wanted to say I was over at Marcus Point last week, and we talked about West Marino, and everybody over there, and you know Craig Heinzman very well, and everybody over there just speaks so wonderful of the man. And so what I did was I replayed the portion of the showdown about the removal, and everybody there said, you done an absolute wonderful job. Absolutely wonderful. They didn't think it was right that somebody tries to call up and put somebody up to be an administrator. And I just felt like it, I hate to see someone do that, because they're trying to put pressure on you. And it's like you said, you don't operate that way. And I was very proud of the way you handled that. 2 commissioners I talked to said you absolutely handled it wonderfully. And so everybody I speak to speaks so highly of Wes, and Wes, Craig said they absolutely love him to death. He's been nothing but helpful to them. He does anything he's asked, and so I just don't see a reason to change, because people say, well, he's not qualified. Well, if he wasn't qualified, why has he been here as long as he has as our current administrator? And I agree with you about the thing about OLF8. Have you thought about doing a test vote? Because everybody I'm talking to says, take it out of y'all's hands and let someone else handle it, because nothing seems to be happening with it. That's just something to think about. But I don't know if you could get 3 votes to get it taken out. But that's all I had to say, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thanks, Eric. I'm sure the county administrator appreciates those nice remarks. I missed you Saturday at Mayfair Fun Day. I thought you'd be there.
Where?
Yeah, we had a bouncy thing and hot dogs and hamburgers in your neighborhood. You weren't there.
I was busy.
Okay, well, next time show up. I'll give you a free hot dog. Stan, come on up.
Stan McDaniels. I want to start off today by thanking groups like the Women for Responsible Legislation and Moms for Liberty for stepping up where men haven't seemed to step up here in our state over the years. This is the Bible I received while I was in jail last year for 128 days. It took me a little while to get it because, I didn't want to affiliate with any particular religion, but I was finally able to get it. And, it gave me an opportunity in 128 days to sit down and actually read through this book and from beginning to end. And, I found a lot of truth in this book when I read it. Like Psalm 94:20, those who work mischief by a law. And it seems like that's something we've been doing across this nation, both here in the state, locally, and at the Fed for a very long time. My question for our community is, where are the men that have been standing up? Where are the men to accept the responsibility for governing this community, for telling you guys what to do? Because we, the people, are the ones that are in charge of this great nation and this great county. As the whole debacle plays out at UWF, there may be nothing that can be done about Scott Yenor, and he has made some disparaging comments, that's for sure. But the pendulum between males and females, it tends to swing back and forth, and we're coming to a place where that is going to be righted. It's time for men to stand up and take their rightful place as the leaders over this community. My name's Stan McDaniels. I am a candidate for Congress, and I'm still facing trial. I have, a court coming up next week, on a case that's absolutely horrendous that I've emailed, at least 3 of you guys here. I know, District 4 and District 1 haven't gotten those emails because they're new to the board here. But I continue to go through this battle just to be able to see my sons. I have 7 different open cases with the county right now. It's absolutely ridiculous what a man has to go through to see his sons. And I understand that it affects my district and your district as well the most, Mr. May, because it did happen through these Jim Crow laws, but now it is not respecting of any color. It is all about the money and the corruption. Chief Judge Miller has violated my due process, as well as Judge Petrie.
Thank you, and I'm sorry about your situation with your children. I think every parent should be able to see their children. Mary Konopka, did you come in late? Okay, I don't see Mary, so this will conclude public forum. We'll meet at 9 o'clock to start regular agenda.